Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live.
Habari Live.
From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast, the show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmi, and Damon Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Habari Live, episode 50, I believe, where we keep you updated with the news, sports, and entertainment throughout the week. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. This week we have special guest Jamar Younger, experienced reporter and communications professional, skilled in journalism, newspapers, social media, blogging, news writing, and copying and editing, and also an ASU alum. He works over here at the PBS as a journalist, right?
As an editor.
Editor. Big time, man. Welcome, Jamar Younger.
Thank you.
Man, we appreciate you for coming, bro. I know you're a busy man.
Privileged to be here. Happy to be here.
For sure, man. And hey, I want to ask you before we get started, where are you originally from, man?
I'm from Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
Wow, Philly in the house. What part of Philadelphia are you from?
Originally from North Philly, and then another place called West Oak Lane.
Okay.
Called Uptown.
Wow. I know Philly is that's a tough city, bro.
Yeah, it is.
They call it brotherly love, but we know
it's some tough love. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's that tough love.
It's tough over there, man.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up in Philly, man?
Man, growing up in so I grew up there in the 80s and the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And it was wild, crack era and all that, and the shootings, robberies. So it's a lot of the negative stuff. You had the violence, even stuff you deal with. Worrying about getting robbed or fights and stuff like that.
Definitely.
On the other hand, it was still a lot of fun. I had some great friends growing up. Didn't really get in a whole lot of trouble, or at least didn't get caught. But no, I didn't really get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
All my friends, we were good guys. We pretty much, just go to the mall, hang out, buy clothes, try to talk to girls.
Right.
Just clown around, clown each other. It wasn't that bad. We were pretty just normal, normal kids.
Right.
We would have got along. We would have.
Hey, we right here.
So what gave you the opportunities to steer from the street life? Did you have a two-parent home? Was both of your parents there?
No, I grew up with my mom and my grandmother, and my aunt and uncles and cousins were also involved.
Okay.
So I didn't have my dad there, but I had a very supportive family, just all around.
Okay. For sure, man. And this, being there and living in Philly, what was your inspiration to become a writer? You seeing the things around you, or?
When I was in 7th grade, I just noticed that I liked writing. And English was my favorite class.
Right.
So I had an English teacher in middle school, and I was like, what's a career you can do that involves writing?
Right.
She's like, you could be a journalist. I was like, all right, bet that's what I'm gonna pick.
Wow.
Yeah, it took some, detours, but I knew since 12 that I wanted to write.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then after middle school, I went to Creative and Performing Arts High School. That's where the Roots started, and Boys to Men, and Leslie Odom, and a bunch of other people. And I went there to focus on writing. I was a creative writing major. So that really planted the seed, and just to, the path that I wanted to take, which led me to where I am today.
Wow. Did you came straight to college? You went to ASU, right?
Yeah, but I was actually in the Army.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I took some detours.
Wow, man. How was that?
That was it was necessary. So basically, when I graduated from high school, I went to community college for a year in Philly, and recruiter just kind of just met me on the street. I was walking to school. He's like, "Hey, you know about the Army?" And I was like, "Not really," but he started putting this stuff on my head, and kind of capping my head up with all this. Oh, you can get a bonus. You can go to college. And I wanted to do that stuff. And at the time, I didn't really feel like I had any real focus in my life.
Right.
And I felt like, even though I wasn't a bad kid, I could have got caught up in something. So I was like, sure, why not?
Right.
So it just it allowed me to just kind of get out on my own, figure some
Right.
things out, and just grow up and
Yeah.
gain some confidence.
Yeah. That's real. That's real, man. And they sometimes being out there on your own, especially being in the military, can give you that stern backbone that's
Oh
needed,
yeah.
man. And so from there, you were able to get you a degree and use your army money to go into college and everything.
Yeah, eventually, I did active duty for a couple of years,
Wow.
and then I didn't go right to college. I did active duty for a couple of years, and I
Wow.
joined the National Guard, and that's when I moved to Phoenix.
Okay.
And I was working a construction job. I was working for a company that did telephone and computer cabling. I
Okay.
worked there for almost 3 years.
Hmm.
Then that's when I decided to go back to school, and I was like, all right, I know what I really want to do, so it's time to stop playing around and
Yeah. Get it
start
going.
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Get it going. So I went back to school. I started at MCC. It was around 2003.
Mhm.
Mesa Community College. Was there for a couple of years, and that's where I really started seriously getting more back into journalism.
Mhm.
I was editor of the college paper there.
Mhm.
And then I transferred to ASU around 2005 and did the
Wow.
college paper there
Right.
and eventually got a reporting job.
Wow. So who were some of the people that you met at GCC that helped you out to make your decisions to become the editor? Who were some of your inspirations
Oh,
there?
okay. So yeah, Mesa Community College. It was I had a mentor there. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was a former editor and reporter at the Republic, and he had also worked, I think, in Florida, and
Wow.
he had been in the industry for a long time. And he had became my mentor. His name was Jack Mullins, and I mean, knew myself. I kind of just pushed myself into it,
Right.
and I just walked into the student paper one day. I was like, "Hey, y'all looking for writers?" And
Wow.
the other student editor that was editor at the time was like, "Yeah, sure, you could write for us." And then like I got recruited to be the features editor and then the editor in chief. But it was the mentor there, he was the newspaper advisor. He's the one that was like, "Okay, you could be an editor and
Wow.
you should be editor in chief."
Wow.
He was the one that really kind of pushed me towards that and was like encouraged me to do it. Cause
Right.
first I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
really
That's
want to do
tough.
that. It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but it was great. It it was another instrumental step in my career
Mhm.
towards moving in that direction that I wanted to go in.
Wow,
you know?
man. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, because
Yeah.
being an editor, you're the last person to look at stuff, right?
Oh
To look at
yeah.
the articles. So you have to be on top of all the language, making sure everything is in the right place. How are you so good at writing and making sure that the grammar is in the correct place? You were that good in English? I mean, 'cause
It,
it's tough, man. It's not easy.
oh yeah. Well, like I said, I had been focusing on writing since I was 14. Not
Mhm.
that I was like a good or an expert or anything,
Right.
but it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I
Mhm.
read a lot too.
Yeah.
I read a lot of books growing up,
Right.
magazines, everything from sports to classic literature to black literature. So I like a lot of it was just doing a lot of reading.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Because
you can just look at something and see, oh, that's wrong. And
yeah, for the most,
that's
it took. I've had to improve over the years, but
yeah.
yeah, at the time, and not only that, because I'm sure that paper had a lot of mistakes.
Right.
Um, but it was also like the design and coming up with headlines and making sure things fit on the
Yeah.
page. It was a great experience.
Right.
But
Yeah. So yeah, it's more to it than just making sure that everything's
yeah.
in the right place. You got to make sure that it's designing, how it's
Mhm.
coming together, everything looks the best headlines for everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
And who?
also worked with some talented people too at the
Okay.
time, and some people who went on to do big things in their careers too.
Wow. Wow. So who is your final boss for you? So you say, hey, I've done everything. Everything's edited to what I think everything is great. Who do you go to next to make sure
S-
that they say, okay, this is good. Let's go.
So basically, it was the other editors were working on their stuff, and then they would send it to me.
Okay.
So even though I had an advisor, and he was kind of like a safety net,
Hmm.
and he would look over it as well.
Okay.
So he was kind of the final person, but it was mainly me.
Wow.
So I had other editors as well,
Wow.
other talented people who were very advanced at the time.
But when you're
Um,
the chief editor,
yeah, it all would come on my head if
you're the
something was
last
wrong.
person.
Yeah, that thing go two ways, man.
Right, right,
Something wrong, and you get the angry calls, and
right.
no, you just students. Why are you making mistakes? And I'll
And
look into it.
and
So
people definitely get on you. And
yeah,
you have to make those update articles telling people, hey, well, this one was wrong. And we definitely have been there. So
He said, "Yeah,
it happens.
oh yeah, without a doubt."
Fast. So you were how many years did you spend in ASU?
I was at ASU from 2005 to 2007.
Okay.
So when I got there, I was just a reporter for the student paper, and that was mainly my last semester where I joined the state press. So I wasn't an editor or anything. I
Okay.
was just an editor at Mason Community College.
Okay.
But yeah, I was there for a couple of years, and that was cool because I had spent all those years, even in the military, taking classes on base, taking classes online.
Right.
So I was finally made it to a university.
Right.
So it was like, yeah, this is cool. They got a football, like a big time
Right.
football team, basketball team.
And the connections.
Yeah, and the
The
connections too.
networking.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Oh, it was instrumental.
Right. And
Even people I still
don't
stay.
realize that.
Yeah.
Right. It's huge, man.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, they're still a part of your life. And
Yeah,
they still
exactly.
help you in different aspects of your life to help your career go farther. And whatever else you need in life, for information or just out of respect, people help you, and it's really really dope. So
Yeah.
what is the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism? Is that what you automatically enrolled in when you went to ASU, or is that something you got into as you were in ASU?
I got into it
Okay.
because I was admitted to ASU, but
Mhm.
then I had to go through a separate application process to get into the Cronkite School.
Okay.
Because it's a professional program, so you have to actually get admitted to it.
Wow.
So I went through a process where I had to have like a letter of recommendation, a resume. I had to have a
Wow.
certain GPA.
Wow.
It wasn't like a huge high GPA, but it had
Okay.
to be like decent,
Decent, right.
and then some other stuff. So I had to have like student news media experience from like my community college, for
Okay.
example. So it wasn't no joke. I had to take a grammar test.
Wow.
Yeah, it was it was no joke. It was
Just to
harder to
get
get.
in.
Was that?
Man,
Just to get in.
just to
Yeah,
get in.
like it was probably a little more tougher to get into the journalism program than it
Right.
was just to get into ASU.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's eye opening, man.
Yeah.
So, what was it that you learned? What was it that they taught you in the Cronkite School? What did you take on from that experience?
It was basic. I mean, I learned like a lot of the basic journalism stuff when it comes to writing ethics, how to write a story, how to approach a story, how to approach an interview. Took a magazine writing class.
Right.
That was my first time I learned a little bit about media law and public records. Um, so a lot of the just basics, but I think the biggest thing was just the connections and the internships
Mhm.
that I was able to get
Right.
and the relationships I was able to
Yeah.
build. Like you said,
Yeah.
that's huge in this industry.
It's definitely huge. So getting into the media, from there you went to straight into working, right?
Yeah, when I graduated, that's when I moved to Tucson to work at Arizona Daily Star.
Okay. And is that a big paper in Tucson, or is that
It's the biggest one. It's the major one down there. It's
okay?
and the second largest one in the state. It's more of a mid-sized paper.
All right, just right under the Arizona Republic then.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow, that's huge, man. And how long did you work for them?
I was there for about 8 years.
Wow.
Started
Wow.
as an intern and then was
Right.
hired after I graduated,
Man.
and it was
How
down there for a little bit.
How exciting was that? Coming down, going into as an intern. You haven't been to Tucson before, right?
So when I was in the Army, I was stationed at this place called Fort Huachuca, which
Mhm.
was about an hour and 10 minutes from Tucson. So I would go
Okay.
to Tucson just about every weekend,
Okay.
just
So you was
made some friends up there.
familiar
Yeah, I was
for it.
familiar with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So going back down there is like, all right, I'm familiar with this place and a
Right.
little comfortable with it.
Mhm.
Still a lot to learn, but and I'm not strange. I'm not completely new here.
Right. That is dope, man. And what did you started as an intern, then you ended
Mhm.
up being a reporter,
Yes.
writer? Wow,
Hmm.
man.
Yeah. I
Wow,
was.
man.
Started off covering pretty much started covering community stories.
Right.
And then I moved to education, and I was covering it for. They used to have this weekly section
Mhm.
for some of the suburban areas, so I
Right.
was covering education for the weekly section.
Right.
So that was a great experience.
Right.
Also, that was around the time I worked on helped out with our my first investigation,
Right.
where we looked at some different issues in the school districts down there.
So how many people that come together for investigation? Where you have your investigative reporters that you had going out,
Yeah.
or were you the person that was making the calls, doing investigating when you were doing the writing, or was it
Oh
a
no, we
team
had
of
a
people?
team. So we had a
Okay.
lead reporter who had covered the large school district down there,
Mhm.
TUSD, and then it was me and there was another education reporter, and then we had a data guy to analyze numbers, and then we had a couple of editors.
Okay.
So there was just a whole team of us.
Right.
But the lead reporter was a more veteran, more experienced guy who covered the big school district.
Okay.
And we just would divide up our duties, divide up our records requests, divide up, what we're going to ask for,
Mhm.
how we're going to ask for it, and then
Wow.
once we started like reporting and pursuing the story, who we were going to interview,
Right.
where we're going to ask them, what angle
Wow.
we were pursuing,
Wow.
so it was a team effort for sure.
Wow. So you guys come together. It's like a think tank. Come down with your ideas, just like anybody writing for a movie or anything else. Come together and try to figure out which way you want to go. That's pretty awesome, man. I don't think people know the ins and outs of trying to write an investigative article,
Yeah.
especially something investigative. You want to make sure that you're right, that you have the correct information.
Hmm.
You have to go back and do your research and make sure that you're getting and talking to the right people.
Exactly.
A lot of ins and outs that comes with these, and there's a lot of important information that you may not want to let people know too early. You have your timing, and
Exactly.
it's all up to people, up to how you guys present it. Also, so you
Hmm.
don't want to have the wrong feeling when you're talking about something that's serious. You don't want to come off too like you're laughing.
Exactly.
It's a huge responsibility, man, being a writer. And us at Habari, we trying to become something like the Star. And I know how hard it is, man, and it's been a lot of responsibility. Do you like? I was watching John Oliver the other day, and they're talking about a gentleman who had he was arrested for a crime, and this crime he was ended up these charges were dropped, and none of the newspapers, all of the newspapers, they jumped on his crime, and everybody reported the crime, but no one reported him the charges being dropped.
Right.
So he's been calling, trying to get people to remove the article of him because he's having a hard time
Or
getting
to have them
jobs.
redo
Right.
redo the
Or
article,
come out with the
or
article saying that the charges were
right.
dropped against him because he's online getting killed. So
Right.
those are some of the responsibilities that journalism, is responsible for. You know
The
what I mean? To
follow-up
make sure the
story.
follow-up
Exactly.
stories,
Yeah.
to make sure that people don't that people know the information and we just don't put half of the information out there and they don't know everything that's going on. You ever faced a situation like that where it was like, let me follow this up, or people got angry at you because of a follow-up with what you want it to be, or anything in that realm?
I've definitely had people get angry,
Mhm.
but I've always tried to be diligent in following up on stories that needed that follow up. I think usually it's standard procedure if you're covering like a trial or
Okay.
something like that, where if the charges are dropped, then you're supposed to write about it.
Right.
So somebody must have dropped the ball on that. But as far as like, yeah, I'll always, especially because I also covered crime for a number of years,
Mhm.
public safety and breaking
Right.
news.
Right.
So that follow up in that is always very
Very
important.
important.
If they make a breakthrough in their arrests
Mhm.
or if they drop the charges.
Right.
So I always, strive to be diligent when it came to, just making sure that I just follow up
Right.
and just,
So how would
continue
you
following the issue.
how would you plan that? Would you put it up on the calendar? Hey, let me make sure to look back at this case in a couple weeks. So I got this case here, and I'm gonna mark my calendar. Hey, on this day, I'm gonna make sure I just go back over it just to get a checkup on them, or I'm gonna give them a call to see what's going on if there's been any updates. How would you plan that out to make sure that you check up with
I think the main thing is just giving them a call. I'll put it on a to-do
them?
list,
Okay.
like a story list. Like, all right, I need to follow up with that.
Mhm.
Also, requesting public records.
Okay.
Because part of following up is getting those public records and getting some
Definitely.
details that might not come from the officials.
Right.
So yeah, I would request the public records. I would, make sure to follow up.
Mhm.
There are people I would call, every few weeks.
Right.
I
It's
remember.
it's just tough though. You're an
Yeah.
investigator.
Yeah, that's exactly. I remember there was a story I was covering the school district in Tucson,
Mhm.
years ago, and
Mhm.
I think it was the attorney general. I want to say was starting to look into them, but it wasn't anything substantial. But I was like calling them pretty much
Mhm.
every 2 or 3 weeks. Hey, you
Right.
have anything new? You have
Right.
anything new? You know,
Okay.
then maybe like every month, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Any y'all figure out anything with this?
Right.
And you know, a lot of times he'd be like, no, and you know, it's probably gonna be no for a while. And I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, but you know, this is my job. So
Right.
we had an
Keep
understanding
on it.
there.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just staying organized
Mhm.
and just staying in touch with your beat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hey man. It's really big to know, man, because I'm really interested. I mean, because we're trying to become with these other papers are, and I think it's big for. There's a lot of we have some small papers here, and I just think that we need something for us built by us. You know what I mean? And look people that look like us that's leading. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that's important. And let's get off into to you. How did you get into PBS and how did that come about?
So I was so I left Tucson about
Mhm.
2014. I was working with the Charter Schools Association, worked
Right.
there for about 5 years. And actually one of our fellow NABJ members has emailed me this job posting for
Okay.
it was an editor associate. That's the official title. But she was like, "Yeah, this might be something you're interested in." I was
Right.
like, "All right, bet, I'll
Wow.
apply." And I actually made it through the interview process, but I didn't get the job the first time.
Wow.
Um, but I had a good interview. I think I was a finalist. But they gave the job to somebody else. So I was
Right.
like, okay, keep pushing.
Right.
Um, then a few months later, one of like sort of a mentor, somebody I knew from when I was a student,
Mhm.
she asked me to be an adjunct, like an adjunct instructor, adjunct professor,
Okay.
to teach a news writing class.
Wow.
Like a couple of months later,
Right.
this is probably like December 2019, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Um, so I ended up teaching that class. So I became employed there anyway.
Mhm.
Then I remember I was speaking on the panel because I was at the time I was president of the local NABJ chapter.
Right.
And I guess the opening, I guess the person that was hired above me, had left,
Mm.
and I was already there, and I had a good interview before, and I was already like known
Right.
at the
Right.
school, so they hired me
I know got in.
back. Yeah, I
Yeah.
finally got in.
That's how it is, man.
Yeah.
You can't give up, man.
Oh no, you gotta keep
Can't give up,
pushing.
man. You know, the first time some people that I didn't get it, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It might not be for me.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But to
exactly.
stay diligent and keep going, man. That's dope, bro.
Yeah,
Real, man.
appreciate it.
You're an amazing man, man.
Thank you.
I don't know how many pats on the back you getting, but this one that's why we brought you here, man, to tell you how dope you are, man. What you're doing is just amazing, brother. And
I appreciate that.
yeah, man. And let's take a quick break, man. We're gonna talk more to Jamar, man, about what he's doing and how he's getting here.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Back, we're here with Jamar Younger. We're talking about his experiences. He's working with PBS and everything. So, tell us a little bit more about how you got into PBS, your first days and everything, and how you feeling about the position and how's everything going there so far?
Everything's cool. So I started off. So PBS is part of the Arizona PBS is part of the Cronkite School. So I was more focused on the Cronkite side of it,
Right.
and a lot of it was writing press releases, writing feature stories for the website. ASU has its own news site, so we submit stuff to their website, and just helping to tell the story of the school,
Wow.
and of the students, a lot of awards that people win, and a lot of the accomplishments from the faculty, and just really trying to just publicize that and just tell that story,
Right.
as well as, there's a lot of experts there. So trying to get them out there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great. And I would say in the last, I don't know, year or so, I've become more involved in helping to publicize also PBS. Like they still have like their own digital team and their assistant director
Right.
of communications, but helping with their press releases, helping with whatever story pitches, just helping with, like there's the Horizon TV show, just, helping there,
Right.
like facilitating media if they need to
Yeah.
come and cover something. So yeah, that's a big part of what I do, but it's still just a lot of writing and editing, and working with, the rest of the team there, working with our student workers, and like once again, just trying to get those stories out there.
Right. Hey man, it's so exciting, man. Do you know GM Adriana Farwell? Do you work with her in certain aspects, or you just know of her in the?
Oh yeah, we cross paths.
Okay.
She I mean, yeah, she's our boss, so
Okay.
she's
Okay.
there.
So she's over you guys too. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's on the 5th floor with
Wow.
right with everybody else. So she comes through. She says hi to everybody.
Right.
Um, she's very involved, very engaged, very
Yeah.
energetic,
Wow.
charismatic.
Yeah.
Just a great boss.
Yeah,
Somebody
man.
who just engages and just kind of inspires you to just do the best you can.
Wow.
A great leader.
Yeah, man. She, like I said, man, we were at the ASU Gammage, and just like I said, when she came out, it was just amazing to me to see a strong Black woman in the position she in, man.
Yeah.
Being a leader. And the way she held herself was so graceful and everything, man. I love to see it, man. And also the dean of ASU is a brother, and he's a excellent man. And to see them lead the school and see you, you know what I'm saying? I love to see this out here in Arizona. And
Yeah.
it's building something for the future and showing kids and other people that we can do different things, man.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I think that's very, very, very important, especially coming from where you come from and most of us, you know what I mean? Changing that future. So what's your future? What is your aspirations? What is your dreams? You want to be on TV? Do you want to be behind the scenes? What is your final placement that you feel like this will be my final place and I'll retire from here?
It's an interesting question. Definitely something leadership oriented,
Okay.
whether it's like a senior editor position
Mhm.
or something else. I definitely something that's more involved with creating content.
Mhm.
Um, just something where I can still write and edit, but do it
Right.
at a higher level. I also like working with the media too.
Right.
Part of what I do is media relations.
Right.
So like sending a press release for the Henry Louis Gates event.
Yeah.
Or sending press releases and reaching out to media directly for some other events as well.
Yeah.
So something along the lines of that. But sometimes it's like, who knows? Like,
Right.
and that's the thing. That's something that other people like your viewers and listeners should
Mhm.
know is that you never know, like, especially in this career field,
real.
like where it could take you. Like,
Right.
if I thought you told me I was going to be an editor, I thought I'd be an editor at a newspaper, not as part of a comms PR
Right.
team at a
Right.
journalism school / television station. But I mean, there's a lot of different jobs out there, a lot of communications jobs.
Mhm.
There's technical writing jobs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities.
For
Just if
writers.
you, yeah, exactly. If you have those writing skills and
Mhm.
those editing skills.
Mhm.
There's corporate communications.
Wow.
So for me, it would have to be something leadership oriented. But sometimes like who knows what kind of path you're going to take. You have to be open to possibilities, but
Yep.
you also have to have an idea of make sure that it's something that you're going to be happy with.
Mhm.
And you're not just taking something because it's the first thing that comes to you.
Right.
Um,
And that's I mean, that's great, great, great advice. 'Cause I agree with you 100%. You have to keep your mind open because you never know.
Exactly.
You never know where you might end up. You never know where you might go. I never knew. I never thought if you talked to 19-year-old me, I didn't think I was going to be an engineer. I didn't think that.
Right.
That's where life takes you. You never know. You have to keep your mind open. Don't say the words "I can't," man.
Yeah.
You can do it, bro. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, without a doubt. And
Stop saying "I can't," man.
Definitely. I didn't think I was gonna be doing media when I
Right.
was 18, 19.
Right. I definitely didn't think we were going to be doing this. So I mean, we talked to us 5 years ago, we wouldn't have said we were doing this. So I mean, life throws things at you, man, and you what can you do when you catch them? What you gonna do with it? And
Exactly.
make the best out of it, and that's what you've done, and that's what most of us try to do every day. So
Yeah.
what we got? You want to get in? Let's go into some stories real fast.
Sure.
All right, man. Let's talk about some of the news through the week. We got here.
And now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Ellison, sponsored by
No one. And let's talk about they're finally gonna give Emmett Till a statue down there in Mississippi, man.
That's dope.
The city of Greenwood, I'm sorry, to unveil Emmett Till Memorial Statue. The Mississippi community of Greenwood will erect a towering statue Friday in honor of Emmett Till, the 14-year-old black boy who was murdered, sparked much of the 20th century civil rights movements. I feel that when young people ask me what the memory of Emmett Till is, we have this statue as a memory. I think before they just had like a little plaque saying this is where he died, and I think people kept shooting it up, so they had to put it in, encase it. So it's pretty disgraceful. Mississippi State Senator David Johnson, who represents Greenwood, told ABC News he liberated all black people for all that he sacrificed. The memorial statue stands at 9 feet tall, a bronze figure reminiscent of Till's infamous portrait with a white button-down shirt, slacks, and his left hand tipping his hat with a slight grin on his face. The statue's unveiling comes just a week after the release of Till, a film detailing the untold chapters of Till's story centered around his mother, Mammy Till Mobley, who championed civil rights activism following the murder of her son. I saw the highlights of the movie. It may be. I think it may be good, man. And this
Should
is
definitely watch it.
this is a story that's never been told. So
Right.
it's not one that we can say, man, I'm sick of that. They told it a million times. I'm
right.
tired of it. This is one that we have glossed over, and some of the people are still alive that went through this. So I think
Right.
the old lady who told, I think she's still alive, if I'm not mistaken, who lied
Or
on him.
I think she just passed away.
Oh yeah, you're right. She just passed at like 90 something.
Wow.
Right. So I mean, this is still a new story. So I think it needs to be told. A lot of people didn't know about this information about Emmett Till. So I'm happy that it's being told, and maybe you know what I'm saying, that we can change some things in the future by knowing some of the things that happened in the past. But let's go on to the next one real fast. We got an Oregon mayor to ban homeless camps on the Portland streets, man. It's pretty sad. I understand what's going on. We having the same problems here in Arizona. That's why I wanted to talk about it. We have the mayor plans to ban camping on Portland streets in the next year and a half. He plans to ban camping on city streets and move unhoused people to designated campsites. So I mean, it's a good idea because I mean it's something that I was talking about, having the designated campsites where we give these people a few acres. It's going to take more than a few, but some acres of land, and let them do their campsites out here, clean it up, have people come out and clean it up, bring out some plumbing and different things to help them. And we're gonna have to spend some money to help the poor, man. We can't just throw them on the streets.
I think the tiny homes.
Yeah.
That's the solution for a lot of the homeless people.
It's definitely a solution.
It's one of
It's
the
one
solutions.
because it's going to take
multiple.
It's definitely going to take multiple.
Tiny homes in conjunction with using abandoned or vacant
hotels,
motels,
Holiday Inns.
Yep, I agree.
All of that.
Mhm.
If it's abandoned and vacant, take it up, fix it, renovate it.
Yep.
They're just 1-bedroom units for homeless people to use.
That's real.
Be able to get them to the next step.
I agree.
Yeah, I think solutions are out there.
Yeah.
I think the resources out there. Just do people who have the willpower to
they're not looking
want to do it.
We want to take our tax money and help them.
Exactly.
That's the main issues. Like what, Jimmy?
I said they're just not looking hard enough.
Well,
for the you know what I mean, for the situation, not the situation, for the solution.
Right. I mean,
their solution is to ban panhandling.
Yeah.
Ban homeless camps.
Right. Yeah. Well, if it's just what they did in Portland, I will give them an applause because when you ban something,
They gave a
they
solution.
gave a solution, not just saying ban. That's it. We don't
Right.
have any answers for where you go. We
Right.
just banning. At least they say, okay, we're going to ban it on the city streets.
But we're going to
But we're
give you
going to
this
let
area.
we're going to give you designated campsites that you can camp at and you can go to if you are homeless. Take your tent, stand up here, and you don't have to worry about anything. And I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You can't just give no one an out when you've banned a certain thing and now there's no out. It's just banned.
Right.
So I can give Portland that. He's the mayor. He's that Portland is they're a different thinking place. I can't give it to them. Very very liberal leaning, and I think they're gonna do the right thing to try to help their people, man. So there's resolutions. Hopefully Phoenix will take a look at what they're doing and what I'm saying, and try to put that in place here because we have a huge encampment downtown. That's ridiculous, man. It's so sad when you go
The
past it, bro.
homelessness it's not just downtown anymore.
Right, I'm just talking about that big one.
But the biggest part of the city, right? It is
exactly.
downtown.
I mean, when you know the differences when we start seeing it around here.
Right.
I mean, 2-3 years ago, we did not see homeless people walking around Paradise Valley, but we see them all the time now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's new norm. I didn't ever see people up this far north walking around with baskets and carts. But hey, man, that's what's going on, man. People cannot afford the way the living has skyrocketed in the last 2 years. But hey.
But that's another discussion for wages being attached to inflation.
Exactly. So we got back home today. We got Arizona is suing over containers along the border. The state of Arizona has sued the federal government to be able to keep more than 100 double-stacked shipping containers that Republican Doug Ducey has placed to fill gaps in the wall. This dude here, man, I swear, man.
Oh, you like that wah button? Oh yeah, we get it all the time. Yeah.
I think it's the Cocopah Indian tribe in southwestern Arizona has been complaining that the containers were placed on its reservations without permission. They don't like the walls there. It's messing up the animals migration paths. It's not good for the environment at all. And you just place it on these people's land. You don't talk to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
not only are you messing up people's property, you're messing up ecosystems.
Right.
So
right. I mean, I don't understand it, man. And it's all just a facade to make these people happy who hate to see Mexicans coming here. And it's ridiculous. I mean, these people have been coming here. They built this damn state.
Yeah.
And they make this state run.
They do.
When who's cooking your food back there? Who's doing it? Who's back there doing? Who's cleaning? Who's making this city run, man?
Who mowing your lawn?
They are. And I don't know why they don't give these people some respect, man. Because they do so much for this city, bro. And we do nothing but disrespect them.
There are construction workers in Arizona.
They build everything. They build everything, man. Everything. And we disrespect them and put big blocks up trying to keep them from coming in, knowing that they're the people they're going to hire to do all this farming of these the crops that we can't afford. Nobody's doing those jobs anymore, bro. Who you think are doing them? And we disrespect these people. But get them out. Build a wall. Like, I'm so sick of it.
And scapegoat them too.
Man, yeah.
On everything.
Man, dude, they are hard-working people. There are some people that's bad in every group. There's not a group that doesn't have bad apples in it.
Yep.
Show me one. I mean, it's bad people everywhere. But most of the people who come here, they come here to work, and they want to put in they're working to help their family and their people eat. That's all they're trying to do, man. I will never agree with Doug Ducey and all these people who want to make these migrants feel like they're evil. I'm just not with it. So what you got? What you got, babe?
This week, let's see. I probably should have brought my notes up.
Probably.
I was too busy trying to respond to comments. Sorry.
Is that sound again?
Oh, you're going to get a lot. You're going to hear that a lot. All right. But anyway, this week we have exploration of Native American culture.
Okay.
And it took place this week at Anderson Elementary School in Chandler.
Dope.
As part of the school's International baccalaureate. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the word correctly. I
You
probably
destroyed
butchered it.
definitely.
I already know I did. It says inside the classroom, fourth graders were paired alongside kindergartners, working together to learn, touch, and experience the wonders of Native history.
Good stuff.
So, what they're doing is they're observing Native American photographs, artifacts,
Mm-hmm.
and poetry in their learning lab,
Right.
according to the program's director, Christian Morton. And then Chandler Unified School District said that it's committed to creating global thinkers, starting with the people and cultures that make up our own backyard.
Yeah, man. This is their land, dude.
Exactly.
If you go and you see go up north, there's all type ruins, man, where the natives lived. They've been here thousands of years. They lived in the cliffs and the bluffs. They made homes out of mountains, and I mean, they've been living
And
here
that's why
forever.
Sedona and Flagstaff is so beautiful.
Yeah, man,
Exactly.
it's lovely.
They're
It's,
beautiful.
man, lovely places. And we got here late, luckily, because we didn't get a chance to destroy it like we did the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Destroyed the East Coast.
Definitely.
And I bet you it was beautiful too at one time, but we tore it all up, blowing everything up. But it's sad, man. And we were watching some things on African American history, and what was it, the Yoruba tribe?
The Yoruba.
Yoruba,
Mhm.
and they were saying that a lot of us, because most of us are from Western Africa, that's where we were taken from. That's probably where our ancestors. That's probably what they were from. The tribe that they probably were from. We're not 100%.
The Yorubas were it was the biggest culture.
Right.
For
Culturally.
Africa.
So culturally, and that's where we started wearing the
dashikis
and all that in the 70s. It was really big. Would you say they were giving up the culture for free
Yeah.
to try to
Yorubas,
educate?
Yep, they were trying to
Black people in America,
Right.
where we came from and what our history was. And I think that's something that needs to be taught again, man. I wish we had a resurgence of Black power, of I
and
love
that's
being
why
Black.
they were saying too. That's why the Black Panthers. That's why they were closely.
Yeah.
They were closely connected with the Black
Definitely.
Panthers too, because they wanted to ensure
All of them had dashikis on.
They all had dashikis.
Yeah, and they
right.
probably got them for free from
And
them.
The style of afros
Mhm.
and wearing
Wearing your
natural
natural
hair,
hair, right.
and just being proud of the skin and
Mhm.
just the way.
Less European. We went the
Right.
opposite way the last 30 years.
Right.
We went the opposite direction. I would love to see, and just watching that movie, I talk about it again with that Questlove did.
Yeah.
With the 7 and the 69, the 69
That music festival,
that
that
Yes,
Summer
the
of Soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Summer
man,
of Soul. That was
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish that we can get back to that. The amount of music we were doing, man, it was so dope. It's just hip hop. We were doing merengue. We were doing love. I mean, it was so
and
instruments.
I've noticed
and,
that too
man,
across
dude, it was so
some of the
beautiful,
African
man.
shows that I've been watching on Netflix too. They
Mhm.
incorporate a lot of their culture's
Mhm.
music and
Yeah.
how and how
man.
things are done. And I'm just like,
I wish we get back to that, man. Let's
Yeah.
go back.
There's so much that we just don't know
That's real.
about even our history here in this country, much
Mhm.
less, in Africa.
That's
and
real.
those influences. There's so much that we miss out on.
That's real.
And then they're trying to restrict it even more.
Yeah, man.
So it's something that we all have to really fight for.
Yeah.
definitely.
We got to fight for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these people nowadays, they're feeling as though that our story makes them feel bad. So they wanna block it. They because they feel
Our story is offensive to
Right.
them,
Yeah.
it's offensive because they don't want to hear the truth of what happened.
even though they are the cause of
Yeah.
our story.
And like I tell a lot of people, man,
Preach.
everything isn't black and white, bro.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? If you go through history, you're gonna find some black people that own slaves.
Yep.
You're gonna find some Native Americans, some Cherokees that own slaves. It's not black and white, bro.
No, it's not.
Our lives
I think a little
and
bit of every
history-
culture
That's
owned slaves if
real.
they was in America.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
We've even our own.
Yep.
We enslaved our own people.
Yep.
It's
We bought and sold our own
isn't that
people.
it wasn't right. It wasn't right, man. We all know that. But I don't know what the hell they were teaching. They thought it was right then for some reason. And then you go back even further, and indentured servitude
Yep.
was a normal part of Africa. Normal part of Irish and Europeans. I mean, this was normal. America took it to a different capacity by trying to make money off everybody and change people's lives. That was the part that made it so ugly.
They changed the social status of
Right,
it.
exactly. And they also changed, they made this thing that we call black and white,
Yeah.
which doesn't exist anywhere outside of America because everybody else is from different it's culturally where you're from
Right.
and what you
Right.
believe. And one time it was more based on your religion, on
Right.
what you were culturally connected with. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So now we just in America, oh, you're black. It's not, because people from, Africa are like, oh, where are you from? You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't look, oh, you black. Oh man, what? You're Nigerian, you're Kenyan, South African, you know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
we've
It's-
lost that. We just black. You know what I mean? And and we're getting so confused over things. It's like people talk about the Moors and they talk about that area.
Mhm.
They don't understand how mixed up that area right there is.
Right.
Northern Africa, the Mediterranean. They don't understand how close those areas are and how close these people have mixed and came. Man, the North Africa it's just so many different cultures, and
they're
people
so
look
close
so
together.
different, right? When you say like the Spain is right across the street from
Yep.
right across the street from the Northern
Mhm.
Africa and Mediterranean. That's
From
what you say,
Morocco, right?
that all these
Yeah.
Morocco,
Yeah.
all these places, man, it's not that far apart, man. In the Middle East, that's why all these people have the same skin tone because they've
It's
been
kinda
mixing
like-
together so long.
It's kind of like if you was to take a drive through Route 66.
Mhm,
You're going to hit every state
mhm.
and you're going to see something different in
Definitely.
every state.
Definitely, that area
Wow.
is just a different area, man.
You're going to
The Mediterranean, you say Mediterranean food and how much it encompasses, because they just say Mediterranean food because it's so many
much.
areas that eat this type of food. They're in Africa,
Yep.
they're in Spain, they're in Greece, and they all eat the same food because they're all off this Mediterranean. And they're all different cultures too, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's so many mixed people. It's not black, white. It's Berber people. There's the Egyptians, the Ethiopians. You got Ethiopians that look just like you. You got Ethiopians that look just like me. It's not just black and
It's
white.
a melting
man.
pot.
Right.
And I think we need to learn more about the geography of Africa so we can stop saying this goofy stuff. Oh, they're black. Nah, man, that's not how it works there. That's how it works here because of the social constructs that America has built. Over there, you're Berber people, you this, you're that.
Mhm.
It goes, what tribe are you from? What country? It's all broken down a lot more than black, white. And we need to
Definitely.
stop putting our culture on others and thinking that this is the way it is. Because Egyptians, we love to be like, oh, Egyptians are in Africa. Are they black? No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. No, my brother. Go talk to an Egyptians right now, my brother. They're not gonna say that they're black. They're Egyptian.
Right.
And they're not gonna say that they're black, man. But you, from your eyes and what you see from this country, you
Just
put-
because you're
you
looking
put-
at their skin,
right. This is the way we put people in blocks and demographics. This is how we do it. They don't
Yeah.
do that there. They gonna look at you crazy. Nah, man, I ain't black. What are you talking about? Oh, black people built this. Yeah, the first Egyptians, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, they might have been pure black. They came up from the sub-Saharan. Had to have been a long time ago, bro. We know that the Egyptians, all the races in that area was so mixed up.
and they migrated
Greeks,
so
exactly.
much.
It's not that far away from for a Greek to come to Egypt. Do you know?
No, it's not.
It's
It's
that-
like
it's right down the street.
literally Arizona to Texas.
Exactly. People don't get that. That's like around the corner. And then we reading how many people came to Egypt from all across the world that would come there. That was a melting pot of
It was the first melting pot.
one of the first melting pots where people came all around the world to move to this dynasty.
Mhm.
They might have looked like this at one time, but after thousands of years, bro, they're your skin color, they're tan. You see the walls, they're tan. They might have been dark at one time, but after all the mixing, they're tan. They're Egyptian. They're their own thing, man.
Right.
They're not black,
Definitely.
my brothers. Let's get it. But if you want to learn something, I always say, man, you want to learn some more about Africa, man. Let's go into the Nubian people, learn more about them Nubian people and the sub-Saharan dynasties that were built there that we know nothing of.
Check out that documentary on Netflix. It's bigger than Africa.
Right. It was a lot of big big civilizations that they don't talk about, man.
Yep.
That was just as strong and just as big as the Egyptian civilizations. You know what I mean? And they were sub-Saharan. We know they were black. They were sub-Saharan. We know what that is.
Right.
Closer to the equator, underneath the equator, dark. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
Above the equator, away from the equator, lighter.
Yep.
You got to understand that. It's Africa, man. It's a huge continent. It's not just black people there. Ooh, Lord. But
Oh,
man.
yeah. Break it down.
Hey, bro,
Yeah,
I have to
nah.
have this discussion for a lot of people because
Oh,
they
yeah.
just like it's Africa. Black.
Yeah, a lot of people, they just real ignorant
Yeah,
when
man.
it comes to, just the different cultures over there.
Mhm.
And they think that it's all like
It's all
just
the same.
poverty. Yeah, it's
Right.
all, and it's
And
all
that's-
what they
and
see on
that's a
television.
misconception too.
It
Exactly.
really is, because
Yeah.
in the African shows that I've been watching, like Savage Beauty and How to Ruin Christmas
Mhm.
and all of those,
Mhm.
yes, they show areas where there's impoverished people.
Definitely.
Right.
And it's huts and dirt
Right.
and in
But
areas
they've been
like
living
that.
like that for thousands of years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also areas where it looks like
Just like
Phoenix.
here.
It
Yeah.
looks like Dallas. It looks
Definitely.
like Atlanta.
They neighborhoods
Yup.
look just like our neighborhoods, man.
And they
They-
skyscrapers, they downtown
man,
areas.
Yeah.
Man, they cities.
Yeah.
They driving cars like we got.
Yep.
It's no different, man. You think it is
It's
because
not.
that's what we're showing you in America. You have to take your eyes off of the bull and go look at something else, man.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, man, and if you want to know the truth, I'm kind of jealous of what they're doing right now,
I am too.
especially in Nigeria. I mean, these people, man, I wish we were on what they're on right now. The technology that they're learning in grade school, these people are coding at age 5, man. We need to get on this.
Yep.
We need to get on this technology because we're going to get left behind, man.
Yeah, we are.
It's all technology based. And if we don't know how to fix this technology, we're not going to have any jobs, period. Because everything we all see is happening right in front of our face.
Mhm.
People are being replaced by machines in grocery stores and gas stations.
And they complain about Walmart and
It's-
all the time.
You can complain all you want, it's coming.
but
and
you
s-
don't want to go learn how to operate.
But you better learn how to fix them. I'm telling you, because that's going to be the jobs of the future. And if you don't, the cats from Nigeria is going to be coming over here replacing you, my brother. And you'll be sitting at home looking stupid. Because they coming ready, man. Running applications and APIs, they doing it all. They're very intelligent. What we got?
We want to do sports, comics, hot mess.
Let's do the sports real. Let's do the sports real fast. We can hurry and get up out of here. We got in sports this week. We got the Cardinals. They got a good win with the Saints. That was pretty big. I thought it was a good game, man. At first, I was kind of nervous. They started off getting murdered, but defense finally stepped up, and the offense had a good game. Hopefully, we can keep this going. I like what the Cardinals did last week. The offense didn't look so staggered, and it just looked inept the last few weeks. So we also have the 49ers. They got Christian McCaffrey on their team. So the people saying they're pretty loaded, but dude can't stay healthy, man. He just can't stay healthy. He's great when he's there, but man, dude,
Russell Wilson's out for tomorrow.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
It came through this
Russell.
morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he hasn't been looking that great.
Nah,
anyway,
he
man.
hasn't.
He's
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's old.
I don't
or
think it's his age. I think he's just
the offense. I don't know, man. It
He's just
should
been
be
off.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
It's been bad. It's been bad.
I don't think the team chemistry's there.
Yeah, that could be it. It could also be the coaching. But it's
It's
not
something.
It's not a good look that Seattle is looking decent with Geno.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
It's not really helping his situation
At all.
And Geno was one of
Wasn't he like a backup?
backup?
He's been a
the
career
backup's
backup, I
Right.
believe.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a backup.
and,
backup.
and he's known as being
Like a
ter-
third string,
terrible
second string,
quarterback.
third
Yep,
string
exactly.
backup.
He comes in his place, and dude is like one of the top quarterbacks right now. He has a quarterback rating that's top 5 right now, Geno Smith. So dude is looking good, and he's out there looking bad. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's ride.
That's better
They
get
have
it
an
together.
excellent- Yeah.
Let's ride.
I don't know, man. Pete Carroll is looking really smart right now.
He's an excellent coach.
he's-
That's probably the biggest difference.
man.
It's just the
He's-
coaching.
He's looking smart, man. He said, "Hey, Russell, we knew you wasn't gonna you didn't have it anymore, so we let you go." And I took Geno Smith, and I'm doing better than I was going to do with you because I could see that you were not looking that great anymore. And man, he's looking like he made the right move because a lot of people was like, "Why didn't let?" Hey, looked like he might have been the one that knew, and we didn't, and Denver didn't because they paid that boy. Whew,
But you
like
know,
200,
I think Russell
190
Russell
million.
said one
Yeah,
time that Sierra be the one that be making most of the decisions for the household. So
Hey
I
man,
mean, you
if he's
know,
playing football. If I played football and then my mind had to be on something like that, and I was already making 200, make the decisions for. I'm out here.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm out here. I ain't got no time to be worried about the decisions for the house. I'm trying to tackle and not get tackled. You know what I'm saying? Make sure this receiver catch this ball. You take care of that stuff. I don't care
but
about.
he ain't doing it.
But he's getting paid. He's out there.
He getting paid.
That's all that matters.
But
You
he
better
looking like
figure-
trash doing
It
it.
You
don't
better
matter.
figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
them
for
home
real.
problems, whatever, all that money.
Right.
You better figure that
For
out.
real.
Because that's
Everybody-
what it is. That's I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's something going on up here mentally at home that's keeping him from not performing on the field correctly.
Man, hey. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know about
ah,
that. But only thing
Sierra
I
ain't
do
giving
know-
him no
from-
booty. That's why
Oh.
Sierra ain't giving him no booty. Ain't getting none that R&B singer booty. That's
don't
When
know.
she
you-
promised him some last night and didn't
Oh,
give it to him.
Getting too
Because
much.
he
Distracted
injured.
now. The game, all that tension worked up.
that's why he injured. That's why he ain't played today.
Oh, man. But we got the Suns. They lost last night to the Trailblazers.
Oh,
Damian Lillard dropped 40 on them.
Dame Dollar.
He just came back too.
No,
He just he's
They
That was
just
his
dropped
first
40
He's
on
back.
on Phoenix like
He
that.
back.
First
oh,
game
he came
back.
in. He came
Dropped
in like,
40
all
on the
right.
Suns.
He
He
been
said, "Here,
gone.
watch this."
Yeah.
He's been gone about what? A
All he
season.
missed all year,
Yeah.
all last
Mhm.
year. So he had to show the scene.
He was in the
Suns.
pre-games. I think wasn't he
He
in the
said,
pre-games?
I'm making an extra
I don't
debut.
know if he played
Mhm.
preseason.
About to
I'm
send a
talking last year?
message.
I don't know if he played preseason, but I know he definitely sent the message to the Suns. And I thought it was gonna be a win because I'm like, Trailblazers,
Ain't got nobody.
they ain't got nobody, but they did pick up Jeremy Grant, and
Nah, Damian Lillard came back.
He said, "Here, hold my beer."
yeah, they murdered us. So we got Black Adam coming out this week.
He's
It
been
came out yesterday.
real
Yeah.
quick. The thing about Damian Lillard, he's been quiet. You don't hear really nothing online about Damian Lillard did this.
He's
He's
not.
probably just been in the gym. You know what I'm saying? The whole time.
He's not one of those though.
Been on the grind, yeah.
He's not the
The flashy
Kyrie Irving.
LeBron.
He ain't. He.
Mhm.
I think he's like another Steph Curry. Not how he
he's-
plays,
he's
but how
laid back
he's. You know what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
carry himself.
And how he
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
like. Nah,
Real
I ain't finna be
professional.
traded. I'm just. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do this until it works and
Yeah, he's. I like Damian. He does. He does
nothing.
well. I like him.
Yeah.
Comic Book Corner.
All right, before we get to the game here, we're gonna go to the comic books real fast. We got Black Adam came out yesterday. It's doing pretty well globally, domestically. People are going to see it. Rotten Tomatoes have torn it apart. They said it was terrible, but
Wow.
people are liking it. You know what I mean? People are liking it. People are going
So
to
the
see
audience is giving it a better rating
it.
than Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that the ratings for the audience is double of what Rotten Tomatoes gave it. And people are liking the after credit scenes. They're pretty excited about what's going on in the future of DC. They said they try to fix a couple of things, and they say that the connection of the Snyder and the Gunn universes is being brought together in this movie. So that should be a good reason for if you want to, you know what I'm saying, take a minute to go see it today, go check it out.
Nah.
Yeah, me either.
He
I'm
just shut it down.
I'm gonna wait till
He's like, man.
I'm surprised.
Wait till HBO Max come out.
I'm gonna wait till it come on.
I'm
HBO Max.
looking at the rating. The people got it ranked as an 89.
Oh, wow.
So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 49.
40%.
Whoa.
That's pretty bad.
Little
man.
disconnect
Yeah.
there.
Right.
Wait a
40%
Yeah, like.
to 89% for the
like, wait, no.
people.
I don't know, man. People like comic.
It's because
book
the
movies.
Rock. It's because
Yeah.
of the Rock.
Yeah,
Gotta
if
be.
as long as you beating people up and some destruction and some blood,
Look.
people are cool.
The Rock wasn't even good when he did Jumanji.
The Rock is not
He's not that great of an actor.
But it's just his personality. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely
Yeah,
not taking any
his
Oscars
image.
home.
Yeah, it's his image.
At all,
It's his image that people, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
people loves.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like John Cena sucks in movies.
Hey man, I liked him
Mm.
as dude.
And when
What does he play?
Oh, and
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker,
he's good.
yeah, he's
But
good.
I'm talking
at
about
Peacemaker.
In
earlier.
a serious role? Hell
Hell no,
Yeah.
he's not good.
Hell no. But I do want to say something about The Rock though, man. He took a lot of bad roles in his past, bro. And
He did.
Walking Tall.
Man.
I
Walking
didn't-
Tall wasn't
Yeah.
that bad of a decision.
No, it wasn't.
But
That
that
was kind of
role
one of his
is-
better movies.
It was, but that
Yeah.
role was wrote for a white dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was the
You
only
could
black
just
dude in the
tell.
movie.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. But he took that and the hockey movie. Was that the one when he was the angel too?
Tooth Fairy.
The
Tooth Fairy, yeah, where he was
That was bad.
That one looked goofy.
Oh man, it was so bad.
and he had the little girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
little
it
daughter.
was- he took some bad movies.
Was that game?
That was
Plan?
that was the Disney movie.
Is that the football one where he was
Yeah.
a quarterback?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, he took some bad ones.
Yeah. I didn't think Jumanji was that bad though.
You know
The first one. I
The
didn't
first one
mind the
wasn't
first
that
one.
bad.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't mind the first one.
But that second one he did.
It was dumb.
That was
They just
garbage.
made it.
Yeah, the
'cause-
second one, yeah.
Yeah, they just
I
made
like
it
Danny
'cause-
Glover in that one.
Okay.
That second
Danny
one. was-
DeVito.
It's definitely was good. All right, let's take a quick break, man. We're gonna come back with the game and we'll get up out of here.
Come back with the hot
Comic
news.
Book Corner.
Right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get into trivia for Loot here. Oh, you want to do? I'm
Hot mess.
sorry.
Let's do hot mess first.
We're gonna do the hot mess. What we got here?
Now that's a
Get
hot
ready
mess
for
for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan.
Let's go.
This week's hot mess is none other than Glorilla. This week, on Thursday, she did an interview with UK radio station
Going all
Kiss
the way across.
FM.
Cross seas to embarrass us.
That's all I could do was just shake my head.
I
At her.
think I watched the interview.
Let's
This
get ready.
interview was trash. It says during the interview, the topic of wild animals came up, specifically the abundance of foxes that apparently roam London.
Right.
And Glorilla was just interjected and was like, "Foxes? What's that? Is that an animal?
Wow.
Y'all got those out there?"
Wow. We have them here too.
Now,
Yeah. Believe it or not.
here's why I understand why she's
Where?
confused. Okay, so she was saying that the girl from London, she was like, "Yeah, people get mad when foxes poop in their
Right?
garden."
Yeah, because
I've never seen or heard of that either around here.
it's like a wild deer or a coyote
You ever heard of
or
a coyote?
But I'm Midwest. I've never seen a fox.
In the Midwest, we got foxes.
I've
bro.
never seen a fox.
Wow.
whatever. Anyway,
That's
but
why
yeah,
I see
that
she
was,
was.
that's pretty much the reason why the conversation
But
came
never
up.
seeing it and knowing it exists is two different things.
She know what a fox was.
No, she really honestly
She
did
did
not
not
know.
She was like, "Oh, you're talking about the animal fox?" That's literally.
Oh,
She
okay.
said, "You're talking about the animal."
What she thinks they're talking about the channel? Like,
Well, I
what-
don't
what
know.
is she-
I didn't. She,
Her
she
exact
probably-
response
what
to
else?
I don't know. She
the
knew.
What is she-
conversation went as follows. She was like, the responder said when she asked, "What is that? The animal, the fox?" And she was like, "Y'all got those out here." And the interviewer said, "Yeah, we do." And have you not seen one yet? Come to South London and we'll show them to you.
Right.
And Glorilla just had this dumbfounded look on her face, like a deer in the headlights kind
Right.
of look. Like, okay. And then she goes on to say, like, so they're like dogs? Like, so
They
y'all
are-
not
yeah.
scared of them?
They are dogs.
And she's like really just like confused. And she went on to ask a final question and said, so they're orange? I never even knew foxes were real.
Wow. Yeah, she said they.
She said they did.
Yeah, she didn't know they were real, bro. she
Yo.
didn't know that they were real.
You tried.
Let's get ready to play.
Yeah, man.
You tried.
She didn't
But it didn't
know.
work. She honestly did not know what a fox was.
Now
Oh.
that
And you from
a hot
Memphis.
mess.
Oh.
That's definitely a hot mess.
Yeah.
But I mean, Memphis, it's city, man. So I mean, unless you go out of Memphis and go to the country towns, she probably haven't seen them because it's the city. But they have them in Tennessee.
FR.
Tennessee got everything. It's country as hell.
Right.
But hey, man, you know what? I listen to her lyrics, and
I change the station every time I hear a song
I'm not
come on.
surprised.
She got a deep voice.
She
got
very
a deep
voice,
voice. Oh
but
man.
to me, it's just her lyrics, man. I'm so tired of hearing about vaginas. I don't know what to do. Goodness.
Don't you still good? Nah, you
Hey,
got a
man,
penis, big dog.
all
I don't
these
know.
girls got the best in the world.
They WAP is
Everybody.
golden.
Oh my goodness, man.
They got everything, every descriptive noun that you could think of. That's what they calling it.
Yeah, it's sad.
She got
Let's
to
get ready to play trivia.
I'm not gonna stick on the voice. but
Sponsored
her
by-
voice deep.
Women have deep voices.
I
It
know
happens,
that,
man.
but
Some women
Stop
have
being
baritone
stop,
voices.
Stop
Yeah.
it, man.
all right, all
Quit
right,
it.
all
I'm
right.
saying that who cares about her voice being deep? Me myself.
I'm sorry.
I'm more about what she's talking about. You know what I mean?
I hear
Like,
what she talk, but some women been talk like I've been hearing lyrics and stuff like that.
Talk like this.
Not like that.
Even for
No.
what?
What's your name? What's your name? No, I'm cool. But-
Anyway, Jimmy, let's get the game over with.
let's play trivia for Luke.
You about to get yourself in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Hit my first slide for me.
Oh, yeah, you gotta control
All right.
both of them, G.
So, in trivia for the loot, there are a total of 10 questions. If you get
It's on you.
7 out of the 10 correct, we will donate to your charity of choice. All right. The first question is, what is the name of a baby kangaroo?
Dango, I don't know.
what is the name of it?
I have no idea.
It's called why can't I remember this? It's ends with a Y, don't it? I forget. We suck. What was it?
Joey. Oh,
I told you.
I heard
it ends
it
with a
at
Y.
some-
It's a Joey. I'm like, it
Yeah, I
ends with a
said
Y.
Dango. I just
And you're gonna leave me hanging when I said it ends with a Y.
Hey, I'm not going to give you no answers. The next question is, this country is home to the largest number of internet users.
China.
China.
China? It
Definitely.
All right.
Right, everybody knew that.
Yeah.
They hit him.
I almost was ready to overthink that. But I was like, all right.
Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during World War II?
I have no idea.
Dang. Well, I mean, they wasn't even significant in World War II.
Didn't they have some kind of role or?
Yeah, they did.
They
because
partnered
they
with the-
did because
yeah.
they beat the Germans. The Germans tried to attack Russia, and they were able to beat them there. That was one of their worst losses. And
Okay.
because they were overextended there, that helped us to be able to beat them.
Okay.
Dang.
So who was the leader?
He has a big mustache. I forget this dude's name. Stalin.
Joseph
There
Stalin.
you go.
Oh wow.
Yay! All right. So what's next?
Next question is, what is defined as offensive language or visuals used to describe something sexual?
Porn.
That's he's probably right. 'Cause I don't
Yeah, porn. Why not? Yeah.
What is it? Read it one more time.
What is defined as offensive language or visuals used to describe something sexual?
Yeah, definitely. That's got to be a porn,
Yeah.
right? It's porn, right?
No, it is not.
Wow.
Oh.
What is it?
Explicit.
Indecency.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it
Y'all
was
went into a
tough.
mind of a teenager right there for a second.
That's a tough one though. Cause
Come on, Jimmy.
next one, bro.
All right. What are the two values of Bach's model of media ethics?
What?
Yeesh, I've never even heard of that. Maybe I should have heard of it.
I'm sure. Like what? Box.
That's a
model.
tough one.
Oh, box. BOKs.
Mm-hmm.
Model of media
What are
ethics.
the two values of box model of media ethics? Yeah, I never heard of that, man.
All right. That would be social justice and empathy.
Interesting.
Wow.
I have to remember that.
Wow.
How many TV stations, radio stations, and newspapers can one company own in one market?
8.
I didn't know that it was a.
I know. Is there a limit, or
Yeah, I didn't never know that.
I think
Wow.
there?
Huh.
I think there used to be a limit.
There's still a limit.
Yeah, no. I
Never
mean,
heard
when
of
you
that.
look at all these mergers and
Right.
I think there is some kind of limit, but
I'm
I'm,
gonna guess. I'm gonna guess 5.
No.
I'm gonna guess 4.
No.
What is it? 1.
Since it is a 3-part question, you can own 2 TV stations, 1 radio station,
Wow.
and 1 newspaper
That's it.
in one market.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Uh,
So you can have 2 TV stations,
2 TV stations,
only 1 radio station,
only 1 radio
and
station,
1 newspaper.
and 1 newspaper.
You can't have a second newspaper.
What
Well,
laws?
I mean that makes sense because if you had 2 newspapers, you can kind of monopolize information.
yeah.
And that wouldn't kind of be fair.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
What laws protect journalists and their sources?
I should know this, but of course I'm like, I want to say sunshine laws.
I'm just totally asleep.
Yeah.
Just don't give yourself the one.
What is it?
Those would be shield
Oh.
laws.
Shield. Wow. Does it have a crazy acronym like the comic book?
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's the streets.
Everybody's
the
like, what
streets
kind
at
of journalist? are you?"
Right. Next question is, what news service was founded in 1851 to cover European news?
BBC.
Giggity.
I'm gonna say Reuters.
Reuters is correct.
Wow.
All right, yeah.
You got it.
You had to rebound from that last question.
Reuters, man. They're tough. We work with them, but they're tough.
Yeah.
How many seconds of a clip can you use under fair use policy?
So you can use a certain amount of a clip without getting in trouble. I didn't know that.
Is it like
5 seconds.
it's just seconds? Like
Yeah.
it's
How
not-
many seconds of a clip can you use under the fair use policy?
I'm gonna say 8.
You're both wrong, but you are pretty close. It is 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
You can use 10 seconds of
So
a
you
clip
can use 10 seconds of a clip and
Of a
not
clip.
get okay.
and not get.
That explains a lot because I see a lot of people playing clips from other things and it's like really quick, so they don't get in okay, and they can still make their money.
Yep.
That's important
It is
because we play clips, we play too much,
too much of the clip.
and that's why we be getting issues. We have issues.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
True or false? Media's influence has shaped the development of American government.
Very true.
I feel like I discussed this. I learned this in a class years ago, but of course it was years ago, so I'm not like
Yeah, I think about the newspapers in the Revolutionary War and how intricate they were.
Propagandas.
Right, they intricate they were of spreading the word and getting everything out. During the Revolutionary War, the printing presses were everything. I mean, without them, we probably wouldn't even had a Revolutionary War. So I would say very.
I'm gonna go differently and say false.
You should have just went with the consensus, man.
Okay, all right.
It was false. It was true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Media has influenced the shape of American government.
Yeah, man. It was huge, especially in the beginning in the Revolutionary War. It was.
It still shapes.
Definitely.
Especially
shapes.
nowadays, that's
Definitely.
true. Yeah.
Definitely. It
Yeah.
still shapes it. And I mean, not as much today because people, I think social media and other people's opinions has kind of driven into it a little bit. But because your opinion we can make an article about your opinion on Facebook. That's how big social media is now.
Right.
I can make an article based off what you posted. You know what I mean? Like he posted this talking about this and this happened, or he posted this video. Like we make articles off that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how that has changed it. But what do you think about that? What do you think about social media's what is your influence on writing? On do you think has gave it is it more open, or do you think it's too many people with opinions and it's taken away from writers and people going to websites to talk to or read writers?
I lean towards the second. I think that there's a lot of people that can see when it comes to being a journalist, there's certain ethics that you have to learn. Even just beyond learning how to write a story, like just like with those, like with the different laws, like shield laws, for example, like and like even things like how long you should keep your notes after you write a story. I mean, there's just a lot of different things, ethical things that you need to learn that a lot of people, if you haven't studied that, but not familiar with it, then you get in trouble. Think about how people reacted to that Drink Champs interview with Nori and Kanye West, and there were journalists, like legit journalists on Twitter saying that there's standards to this. Just because you have a podcast, just because somebody has a podcast, that doesn't mean that they're a journalist.
You got to be able to cross question.
Exactly.
And he failed to do that. And you have a podcast and he's talking about very, very, very important political situations and discussions, and you don't even have a cross-examination going.
Yeah.
And you didn't do you don't have your notes going on. You knew what this man was going to be talking about. Your excuse where you were drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You got to be prepared, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion about him not having control of the interview.
I mean, he lost control of the interview.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it happened easily with a corruptive person like Kanye, but I just wish that he would have took more control over it and also tried to get more answers out of him instead of just letting this man just go on a rant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I just felt like, but it's Nori. He's a rapper. He's not known as a journalist, and this lets you know that everyone can have a podcast and be great at that.
Exactly.
And every podcast is not going to give you the perfect information. Is not going to always set it up like these other shows do. And we kind of expected that from him, and I think that we probably shouldn't have, because he's just a rapper. He probably didn't even go and try to study on how to be better in media. You know what I mean? And to me, that's my everyday. I mean, I want to be better. I want to make sure I'm giving better information. I want to get better every day. I hope people watch and tell me what I do wrong. I want to learn these things because I want to be a good journalist for our people when it comes to this podcast, because it's digital journalism through podcasting, but it's the same difference. You know what I mean? We're letting people hear our opinions and our views, and people are listening to them. So We want to thank you, Jamar, for coming through, brother. We really, really appreciate this discussion, and it was really dope. And I think our audience will like it and really, learn a lot from your history and what you've been through. And,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
Most definitely, bro. Anytime, man. Please come through, man. And anything you have on a media aspect, please don't forget us. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be in touch.
Please be in touch because we will be there with the cameras on scene.
No doubt.
Thanks everybody for watching another Saturday. We're going to get up out of here. Anything you want to say, Jimmy, Iesha?
Holla, holla.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, man. Peace out. We will see you guys next Saturday. Peace.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.
Right here.